The jungle was alive with sounds I didn't recognize. Screeches, distant growls, the low hum of insects that glowed like dying stars. My boots sank into the wet moss as I forced my way through, every nerve on edge. I had been stranded here for 3 days after my ship went down, the smoke trail probably long faded from the sky. I wasn't searching for anyone. Survival was enough. But then I heard it. A scream. High-pitched, sharp, and filled with pain. Instinct drove me forward. Through the vines, I found her. She was unlike anything I'd seen, slender, with pale blue skin glowing faintly in the moonlight. Her hair, silver white, clung to her face, streaked with blood. A long gash ran down her thigh, and she was struggling against some kind of trap. Jagged metal jaws clamped into her flesh. Whoever set it wasn't human, but cruel all the same. Her golden eyes locked on me, wild and desperate. She hissed, baring sharp teeth, but her hands trembled as she tried to pry the trap open. "I'm not here to hurt you," I whispered, lowering my pack. She didn't understand the words. But she understood the gesture. I carefully knelt beside her, pulling out the med-gel capsule I had salvaged from my ship. With a deep breath, I pressed it to the wound. The gel hissed, sealing the torn flesh in seconds. The bleeding slowed, then stopped. She gasped as warmth spread through her body, staring at me as if I had just performed a miracle. For a moment, silence hung between us. Then she lunged. Her teeth sank into my shoulder, sharp enough to break skin. I cried out, pushing her back, but she didn't attack again. She stared at me, blood on her lips, breathing hard. Something shifted in her gaze, something primal. Before I could speak, shadows moved around us. Figures emerged from the jungle, tall, broad, and armed with bone spears. Her people. They looked from her to me, their eyes narrowing. One of them barked something guttural, pointing at the bite mark on my shoulder. The wounded girl replied weakly, still clutching her leg, and then, they all dropped to one knee. "What the hell?" I muttered, backing up. The biggest of them slammed his spear into the ground and growled in broken English. "You, Alpha." My heart pounded. Alpha. What did that mean? The girl, still trembling, reached out and touched my hand. Her golden eyes softened, and for the first time, she didn't look afraid. She looked bound, connected. That night, they carried us both to their village. The tribe lived in towering huts woven into the trees, glowing with bioluminescent vines. Fires crackled in hollowed-out stones, casting strange shadows across their painted faces. Everywhere I turned, eyes followed me, not hostile, but reverent. They treated me as though I had stepped out of prophecy. Food was offered, gifts placed at my feet. The girl, her name I later learned was Sailor, stayed close to me, limping slightly but stronger already. When I asked her why she had bitten me, she only tilted her head, pressing 2 fingers to her lips and then pointing at my wound. Later, through broken words and gestures, I began to understand. In her tribe, a bite wasn't just an attack. It was a mark, a claim. When she bit me, it wasn't out of malice. It was instinct, something older than language. She had chosen me. And by their law, that meant I wasn't just some stranded outsider. I was their leader, their alpha. At first, I tried to refuse. I told them I wasn't staying here, that my only goal was to repair the beacon from my ship and get off this planet. But they only laughed, shaking their heads. The elders said the bond couldn't be undone. Sailor would never let me go now, and neither would they. The strangest part. She watched me constantly, with a mixture of curiosity and something deeper. If I reached for food, she pushed the best pieces toward me. If I stood, she stood. If I walked, she followed. One night, as the fire burned low, I finally asked her the question that had been eating at me. Why me? Her English was broken, but her meaning was clear. She touched her chest, then mine, then whispered, "You heal. You give life. Tribe obey Alpha who give life." I didn't know what to say. Maybe it was the loneliness. Maybe it was the way her golden eyes burned when she looked at me. But part of me felt it too, that strange connection, that pull I couldn't explain. Still, I had no idea how far it would go. When danger came, it happened fast. A rival tribe attacked at dawn, hulking aliens with red skin and jagged armor, carrying weapons made from molten stone. The air shook with their war cries. The villagers panicked, scattering, but Sailor grabbed my hand and pulled me toward the front lines. "No!" I shouted. "I'm not a fighter." But she only bared her teeth, pressing my hand against her bite mark on my shoulder. "Alpha strong. Alpha fight." The warriors roared as the enemy charged. Spears clashed, fire burned, screams tore the sky apart. I had nothing but a broken metal staff I'd found in the wreckage. Yet when I swung it, something surged through me. The tribe fought harder, faster, as if my presence alone gave them strength. They shouted my name, their voices rising in unison. Even the enemy faltered, staring at me with sudden fear. It wasn't just in their heads. Something in Sailor's bite had changed me. I felt faster, sharper, my blood burning like fire. Each strike I made seemed guided, every dodge perfectly timed. By the time the dust settled, the enemy had fled. My tribe, was victorious. And when the warriors knelt before me once more, Sailor pressed her forehead to mine and whispered, "Alpha." Weeks passed. My beacon remained broken, and though I still dreamed of home, each day it mattered less. The tribe saw me as theirs. Sailor saw me as hers. And deep down, I knew the truth. I hadn't just healed her that night in the jungle. She had changed me too, with that single bite. Maybe I wasn't stranded anymore. Maybe I was chosen. Chosen to lead. Chosen to protect. Chosen to love. Their Alpha. Forever.